Hello everyone, welcome, and this is the second part of the React Native animation series. So in this video we are going to make a carousel with React Native reanimated, and this is how it looks. So to begin, I have an empty file made here. It's called carousel.tsx. So before we begin, I have made some slides here. So I want to explain how this will work. So in our carousel, there will be 3 slides. You can add as many as you want, but for simplicity, we are going to use 3. So the main slide, slide number 1, will be in the middle, and it will be at its full size, like this. And the second slide will be shown on the edge of the screen, and it will be a little bit smaller. So when we slide from right to left, this one will get bigger and come here, and this one will get smaller and come here. So it will look like this in phase 2. This is the second slide, this is first and third. And similarly, if you go to the right, it will look like this. So in order to start the project, I need to explain to you some constants. So this length, the length of the main card that is in focus currently, it will be called card length, and the spacing between this card and the side card is called spacing, and the length of this side card that will be visible on the screen, it is called side card length, and the width of the screen is scr underscore width. So these are the names that I will be using throughout the project. Okay, so let's begin. So in this project, I have already added a few things, so it won't take much time. So let me explain. The constants that we discussed earlier are screen width, which is dimensions.getWindow, and the card length is 80% of the screen width. Spacing is screen width into 0.02, and the side card length is calculated like this. And I divided this by 2 because there will be 2 side cards, one on the left and one on the right. And this is dummy data, which has a random ID and a title. So we have 3 entries here because we are using 3 slides. To begin, we will make our list, flat list, and it won't be using any animations in the beginning. But let's make the like the horizontal list, and later on we will animate it. So I'm going to remove this and create a flat list here. So this takes in a data which we already have here, and a render item, and a key extractor. So the key here is going to be the ID that we have in the data. So let's set item, so item.id. Okay, now the item that we're going to render in this list, what we're going to do is we're going to create another functional component inside the same file, and we're going to use it here. I'm going to call it item. So this will return a view, and it will contain an image. So you can add any image you want. So this will have style of width and height 100%, so that we can control this from the outside view. Okay, so the dimensions of this card will be given in the style part. Okay, so I don't want to hard code it here, So let's create a style sheet. Like I have the styles ready. I'll call it card, and this will have a width of card length. Okay, my bad. Yeah. Remember we discussed this earlier. The length of the main card is card length, and height we can give it anything. For now, let's take it as 150, and I'll get an overflow of hidden. Okay, cool. Now I will add it here. Styles.card. Ignore the error. We haven't completed our code yet. So we have this item now, which is a component, and we will use it here. So let's add it. We have to add return here. Okay, so there are three images. We see it like this, but our carousel is horizontal, right? So we have to add it here. Let's say horizontal is equal to true, and there we have it. These are our three images. Now, if you look at this diagram here, we have the cards here. Now we have to specify this other properties like the spacing and the side card length, so that before we start animating this, we get every dimension correct. What I'm telling you is we need the index of the phase that we are in, right? For example, if we are at the start of the list, then we are at index 0. That means the first image is showing. If you are here, it is the second, or if you are at the end, then the index will be at 2. So when we get that index, then according to that index, we are gonna assign the spacing and the side card length, right? For example, in phase 1, the first element is showing, and the margin on the left of it will be this much, and on the right it will be just the spacing, because on the right there is a side card, but on the left it's empty. And in phase 2, that is at index 1, will on the both sides we will have the margin of spacing, and similarly on the third we'll have spacing as margin left, and on the margin right we'll have this much space. So the margin that we assign depends on the index of the number that we are displaying, right? So let's get the index first. It gives us two things, that is item and the index, right? So we need the index here. We'll pass this as a prop. So if I do this to receive it here, I have to make an interface. It will go like this, and let's call it item props. This will have an index which is of type number. All right, so let me destructure it here, and the key is item props. Cool. So we got the index here. So we already have a styles here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create an array of styles, and this will be our custom style here. So we have to run a few checks here. Assign the property first. So margin left, if index is 0, then it will be side guard length, otherwise it will be spacing. So you will see what I'm doing here in a few seconds. We'll do the same for the margin right, but instead of 0, this time we'll check it for the last card, that is at index 2, and this will be same. Okay, so if I save this, it looks like this. We have the space here and the side card that is shown here, and if you go and try to make the second phase, it's gonna look like this. So this is the main page, and these are the side cards, and when we start animating, we will shrink this down a bit. Okay, so before we start doing animations, there is one last thing that we need to do. We need to know how much we are scrolling in this, like if this list is of length like from 0 to, let's say it's at 3000, then this flat list has a on scroll property. This will be a function. So this on scroll gives us an event, and we can get this by doing event dot native event dot content offset, I believe. Yeah. And since we are going on the x-axis, dot x, so we need to store this somewhere. So let's call this scroll x and set scroll x. Yeah. Let's initialize this by 0. And what I'm going to do is, okay, so now we have the number that we are on when we scroll this list. So now we have to pass this to the item. So similar to what we did before. And it's also going to be a number. Okay, so we have all the data that we need to start doing animation now. First, I need to tell you how the animation will work. So our entire animation is dependent on the scroll X property. So let me tell you why. If you see here, we are at phase 1, right? We are at the beginning of our list. So the scroll X will be at 0 because we haven't scrolled anything on the list yet. Now, if we scroll from this point to this point, like this, so what we have scrolled is the length of this card, right? We have scrolled this much length. So this length is card length. So in this case, our scroll X property right here will be equal to the card length. So this is how scroll X work. Now the question was that the entire animation is dependent on scroll property, because if you are at phase 1, this card will be at full, it will be at full dimension, and this one will be a little bit shorter, right? If you look at the diagram over here, this card will be at full and this will be a little bit shorter, this and this. So when we scroll like this, so the card on the right will gradually increase its width, its length, and this one will get shorter. And by the time we come in this state, that is phase 2, this will be short, this will be short, and the middle one will be at its full size. Similarly, if you go ahead, this will become shorter and this will become larger. How are we gonna animate the list based on that scroll property? So fortunate for us, there is a function called interpolate that comes out of our React Native reanimated library. So I'm gonna write the code for the interpolation, and once I write it, I will explain what it does to you. Okay. So this won't make much sense in the beginning, but we'll get used to it. So first, let's import the library animated from React Native animated, and we need some functions here. First of all, interpolate and extrapolate. Also, we need use shared value. Now, what this use shared value does, we have discussed this in the previous video. So, if you want to watch that, I will put a link right here. Okay. So, in this functional component, first we're gonna define the shared value. So this will be const, and let's call it size for now, and it is as simple as this. So I'm initializing this with 0.8 as its value. So why I am doing this, I will explain this to you. First, let me write the code. Okay, so what this interpolation function does is that it takes in an input range and gives us an output. So since we need to determine the height of this card based on our scroll property, we are going to use this interpolate function. So I have provided the first parameter as scroll x, which is our proprietary property that we need. The second is the input range and third is the output range. So this is the input that we are giving and this is the output that we are getting. Now let me explain how this input and output work. Alright, so if you go to this slide again, uh, you can see there are in input range there are three inputs here. The first one is index -1 into card length, second is index into card length, and third is index +1 into card length. And this output is 0.8, 1 and 0.8. So here if the height of the card is full, it is referred to as 1, and if it is shorter, then it is referred to as 0.8. Okay, that's like 80% of the height. So that's why I use 0.8, 1 and 0.8. Now to explain this input, um, if you put those formula, like for the first card, it's it was what, index -1 into card length, right? So that is 80, because index is what, 0 for the first card, so 0 minus 1 is -1, and -1 into card length, if you assume card length is 80, so it will be -80, and the output for that value is 0.8. Okay, so that means if our card is at a card scroll property is -80, then the height of the card will be 0.8. All right, and but our card will never go in negative scroll because the lower bound on the scroll x property is 0. So we move on to the second part, which is index into card length. So it is 0, so 0 into card length will be 0, and if the scroll x is at 0, then what we want, our output is to be 1, right? Because for card 0, if we are at scroll x equal to 0, that is we are in the phase 1. So in this case our card will be at full height, so that's why the output is 1. Now if we scroll here like this, so we go into this third one, which is index +1 into card length, which so index is 0, so 1 into card length, that's 80, and the output for that is 0.8. So if we scroll here, this means for card 0 we are at 80, scroll x equal to 80, right? So in this case our height should be 0.8. So this is how the interpolation function works. We give an input, and based on that there is an output. So any value in between this is going to be simulated perfectly. Like if a value is between -80 and 0, then output will be that much percent between 0.8 and 1. Okay, so once this is all done, you will know how this works. I have similarly created this for card 1, you can look at it. Okay, so now that we have the size of the card at every phase, the only thing left for us is to assign this to our card, right? In this case, to our item. So, if you remember, whenever we assign the styles to a component that is being animated, we use the animated styles hook, right? So let's import it. This one, and let me define it here. So this will be card style, and this will return a function. So this will be a function which will return the styles object, and inside this we will have the transform property, right? Because we have to transform this on the y-axis. So transform and scale y. and this will be size dot value. Okay, so now we have the styles which is being updated with this size value. Now let's assign this to our card. We already have two styles here. Let me assign one more. Okay. I missed one thing. I told this in my previous video that whenever we are animating something, we can't use the normal view that's coming out of React Native, right? We have to use animated view. So here we're gonna do animated.view. There we go. And similarly, we're gonna do this here. Okay. Also, since this is a flat list that we are animating here, we also need animated dot flat list. But the thing is that React Native Reanimated does not have this flat list out of the box. So we're gonna have to create this here. So I'm gonna define animated dot create animated component, and we're gonna pass flat list here. Okay, and this will be our animated flat list. Cool. So instead of flat list, I'm gonna write animated flat list. Okay, there is some sort of error here. I think it's a TypeScript error. So I'm gonna add TSP here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so once we let it refresh, at state 0, our main card is bigger and our side card is shorter. And as we go here, you see this is gradually increasing and it is decreasing, right? Right. So this is our second phase, and if we go further, this is our third phase. And by the way, Happy New Year, guys. Okay, so right now our list, like it is animating, but it's not the expected behavior that we see in the carousel, right? Like if we leave it here in middle of the scroll, it will rest there. It will not like adjust to its any phase condition. So there are few properties that we get in the flat list. So uh, this video is already very long, so I will not take much of your time and I will just add it here. You guys can see. So these are the properties, and this will what this does is it basically limits our scrolling, and it snaps to various intervals if we leave it behind. So if you see here, now I'm gonna scroll, and if I leave it here, it will automatically adjust to the second phase because it is scrolling towards that phase. Similarly, if we do it like this, it will adjust to the third phase. Also, if we like if we slide really fast to the left, it will kill the momentum and it will just stop at the adjacent slide. It will not go all the way to the left. This is what we want, right? So there you go. Is our animated scroll view, and you can make many more things. You can improve this a lot, obviously. I have not focused on styles very much. So yeah, there you go. This is your animated carousel. So I have added a few more properties and styles to this, like the border radius, and I've also added a opacity interpolation. So this is how it looks. If you see, the opacity also changes when we go back and forth. And yeah, so this is to show you that you can do many things with it and totally customize this. So if you like this video, press the like button and don't forget to subscribe.